What is up, meal prepping family? It's Bobby, and today we are gonna rock out some quick and easy, low-fat, Mexican-inspired meal prepping that is so darn tasty, it's loco. But the macros are so low, it's loco too. So I hope you're ready for some Mexican meal prepping. Turkey meatballs with cilantro, raisins, spices, and pepitas, pan-seared and oven-finished, served with my take on Mexican rice and beans with quinoa, black beans, and cilantro, and charred shishito peppers. So here's the deal. If you love straight up healthy meal prepping that is monster on flavor, just click it. Click that little subscribe button. We are rocking out new videos every Friday. And if you want to go one step further, there's a cute little alarm bell down below. You'll get a push whenever my video goes live Friday morning, and you can be part of the notification squad. All right, this recipe starts with 2 pounds of ground turkey thigh. So to add some sabor in there, I'm gonna add a teaspoon and a half of ancho chili powder, a teaspoon and a half of ground cumin, just over a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper, half a teaspoon of dried thyme, pinch in just over half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and add a few cracks of black pepper. Now, this entire meal prep, and especially the meatballs, are inspired by chile en nogada. Desi and I had that last fall when we went to the Yucatan Peninsula. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's a poblano pepper stuffed with beef and dried fruits and nuts and then smothered in a white walnut sauce. It is que rico, but it's also que high in calories and fat. So this is my low-fat version, and you'll see later on, instead of poblano peppers, we're using shishito peppers, which Desi also pointed out is Asian. So she's quickly proving that this is a pan-Asian Mexican recipe, but either way, there's muy sabor in esta comida, and that's all that matters. All right, now that I just mixed up the spices and I washed my hands, we have to add the remaining ingredients to make this nogada style. So I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of chopped pepitas, which are Mexican pumpkin seeds, a tablespoon and a half of raisins, and a tablespoon of chopped cilantro. Of course, if you're one of the 50% of people out there who think that cilantro tastes like soap, you can use chives or parsley, but I love French cilantro. It's so darn good. Did I say French cilantro? If there is French cilantro, ooh, it's que rico, but use fresh cilantro. Très bien. This video is taking some crazy turns, mon ami amigos. All right, mix up everything really well. Make sure everything's thoroughly incorporated here. You'd think I was hitting the tequila, but it's only noon on a Monday right now, so no, I'm not doing that. To form the meatballs, I like to first dip my hands in some water, and then grab the mixture, form it into a meatball, and slap it down on a platter. To make this video even more confusing, the water tip was from my mother-in-law in Bulgaria. It really helps the mixture not stick to your hand. I've done it before without, and like the meat is just plaster to your hand. So make sure you do that. Now this video officially has a Bulgarian, Asian, French, Mexican, and one big old güero right here. But you know what? The end result is delicious, so that's all that matters, and it's good for you. Last meatball is down. Now, unlike ground beef, ground turkey is very soft. It's loose, and I don't want my meatballs to get smushy and squishy in the pan and in the oven, so I'm gonna stash them in the fridge for about 20 minutes, just so they can firm up. In the meantime, we can get cracking on my healthy version of rice and beans. So let's preheat a non-stick pan over medium-high heat, and then drizzle in a couple teaspoons of avocado oil. You could also use grapeseed oil for this. And then go in with 1 onion that's been chopped. Pinch in a quarter teaspoon of salt, and a few cracks of black pepper. In addition to having the incredible chile en nogada in the Yucatan Peninsula, I also had the pleasure of eating chapolinas, which are fried crickets dusted with chili powder and salt. They're nutty and they're delicious, and don't knock them because they go amazing with the mezcal and the margaritas that we were drinking. They were awesome. We always give the onions a head start before the garlic because garlic burns easily. So go in with 3 cloves of ajo that are finely minced. Now for the bean portion, I'm using 1 can of black beans. So go ahead and add it to the pan. And because it was sitting in that can and needs a little bit of a flavor booster, I'm gonna use a little more of the ancho chili powder and a little more of the cumin to spice it up. So just add about a quarter teaspoon of each. A little more. Desi says más. Más sabor, says Desi. Gonna make some Mexican jumping beans, baby. Very colorful. I like the look of that pan. Now, traditionally, you would have black beans and rice, but The rice is way too starchy and way too caloric for us. So earlier I made 1 cup of dried quinoa. Quinoa is a superfood. It's really high in fiber, omega-3s, and just like you're making fried rice, you want to make it ideally the day before or at least a few hours before you make this dish. That way you lay it on a sheet tray, it dries out, and then when you add it to the pan, it soaks up all of that sabor and gets crazy, crazy flavorful. Now add the quinoa directly to the pan. 1 cup of uncooked quinoa makes 3 cups of cooked. Give that a really good mix up. I'm only gonna add a pinch of salt right now, so maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. Nogada means walnut, so we have to add some walnuts into this dish. So add about 1.5 tablespoons. And this is when the quinoa starts soaking up the flavors of the pan, right? It was semi-dry. It's getting the flavors of the spices, the onions, the garlic, the spiced beans. Really, really good things are happening in this dish. Beautiful. Okay, one last stir. Kill the heat. We need some freshness, so I have more cilantro here. Go ahead and add that. And then something you guys have been asking a lot about lately, and I keep talking about it, is salt. If you don't want to add as much salt as I add, acid or lime juice or vinegar is your friend. So instead of adding another, I don't know, 1/3 of a tablespoon or 1/3 of a teaspoon of salt in there, I'm gonna squeeze over the juice of half of lime, and it does the same thing. Acid wakes up the flavor. And do yourself a favor and get one of these lime and lemon reamers. They're awesome. Really tasty. It's honestly the same flavor profile of beans and rice, but way healthier with the quinoa. This is done. Let's grab our meatballs out of the fridge and fry, baby, fry. All right, my meatballs are chilled. I'm preheating a large cast iron pan over medium-high heat. Let's drizzle in a couple teaspoons of oil. Because my meatballs are big, I want to sear them until they're crusty and then finish them in a 350-degree oven so they cook through nice and evenly. All right, once the balls are down, do not touch them, and do yourself a favor, put the splatter guard down. That'll make your cleanup a lot easier. Gonna let it go for maybe 2 minutes and then I'll flip them. After a few minutes, give the meatballs a flip. Perfect. Golden brown and slightly charred is exactly what you want to see. Let them go another couple minutes and then get them all out of the pan. Add the second batch of meatballs to the pan. Repeat the exact same process until nice and crusty on both sides, and then shake them out. To finish cooking the meatballs, I'm gonna pop them in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. All right, my friends, the last component is the pepper. We're not using a poblano pepper to stuff everything inside, but we are using shishito peppers. Desi loves ordering these at restaurants. It's $10 for a small bowl. Well, I got news for you. You can get these now at almost any grocery store, including Trader Joe's. They're $1.50, and you can make them at home that are better than a restaurant and so much cheaper, so no longer does Desi have to order them at a restaurant. So I'm using the same exact cast iron pan. It's preheating over medium-high heat. It still has a little bit of oil in there. Just go ahead and dump the peppers straight in there. I put 2 bags or 12 ounces of peppers in here. While they're blistering, hook me up and let me know what kind of meal prep you guys want to see coming up. Do you want to see more weight loss, keto, Whole30, budget, crazy easy? Just leave a comment below and I will hook you guys up. All right, let them do their thing for a good 8 to 10 minutes and then we'll see what they look like. After a few minutes, check out the peppers. You can see they're getting blistered already. Just let them keep doing their thing. All right, 10 minutes total, and this is what you want your peppers to look like. Kill the heat and then squeeze over the juice of 1 lime and then get them out of the pan. And look what I just noticed, you guys, on the back of my shishito. Hecho en Mexico. In your face, Desi. She said they were Asian. Just because they're in Asian restaurants doesn't mean they're Asian. Made in Mexico. I love it. Can you smell what the Bob is cooking? No, because we don't have smell-o-vision yet, but the meatballs are done. Let's yank them, dude. Ooh, you guys, check out these meatballs. They are perfectly golden brown, all on the exterior. Then you see those little raisins and papitas popping out of every nook and cranny, perfectly cooked. All right, less talking. Let's plate this up and get it in mi estómago pronto, amigos. Scoop down some quinoa and black beans on a plate. Go down with a few of the turkey meatballs. And then nestle a few of the shishito peppers right next to it. And then garnish with some fresh cilantro. And then because last week I had a lime in my hand and one of you guys left a comment, why no zest? This is for you, baby. Zest a little bit of lime right over the top to make the flavors pop. Oh, it looks pretty too. And there it is, you guys. Low-fat, Mexican-inspired, healthy, easy meal prepping for the week. Muy sabor, muy fácil. Let's cut into these meatballs because they are calling my name. Mucho sabor. You guys, meatballs are juicy, cooked perfectly, but my favorite thing is getting a little sweet, slightly charred raisins and then nutty pepitas in there. And actually the quinoa and black beans taste like the rice at Chipotle, but way healthier. All right, shishito pepper. Charred, smoky, and delicious. Now, shishitos are not spicy, but Desi and I call them the Russian roulette of the culinary world because 1 out of 10 is. So you never know when that spicy bite is gonna come, and it kind of makes the eating a little more fun. Nope, not that one either. Desi's probably gonna get it. All right, guys, storage and reheating information is always down below in the description box. Click the link, it takes you to the recipe on my site. Underneath the recipe is storage reheating macros, which are also down in the description box. So hook me up, share this video, subscribe to my channel, share the Flav City love with everyone you know who wants healthy and delicious meal prepping for the week. If you want 2 more healthy ones, I are streaming below me right now, but I got a bunch of albóndigas de pavo to crush right now, so I'll see you next week. Until then, hashtag keep on cooking, or how do you say that in Spanish?
Sigue cocinando.
Siga de cocinando. Peace.